This is a small segment from my hour-long video, which uses a large amount of match footage analysing Arne Slot and his Feyenoord team, which you can find on patreon.com/theextrainch. Okay, so here is your Arne Slot 4-2-3-1. Sometimes that 4-2-3-1 is a 4-3-3 on paper, but really this unnamed guy, regardless of whether he's a number 10, a deep number 10, a high number 10, or a number 8, is basically to be a forward in the final third. And so for me, it's a 4-2-3-1 regardless, and I think that's probably the way we'd lean. So here is hexagon, your build-up hexagon of please come and press us, I dare you. It'll be fun, I'm honest. And obviously, the big standout issue with the Spurs squad is we've got lots of wingbacks. We bought a bunch of wingbacks, right? That's the problem. If you play Udogie, Porro in this system, they're going to lose the ball a ton in build-up. They're not going to be defensively good enough when you're forced backwards. Romero's going to come diving in. Porro's going to come diving in. Udogie won't even be back yet. Suicide. And I think that's basically what we saw against Newcastle, right? So these can't be our starting fullbacks. Could we instill Arne Slot's ideas in a different formation with the wingbacks being the wide playmakers? In my opinion, no. Not because they just straight up aren't good enough. Porro's delivery from out wide is as good as a lot of very good wingers, but because it's necessary for those wide players to be dynamic. And what I mean by dynamic is, okay, they can cross from out wide. Okay, Porro ticks that. They can dribble to the byline and cut the ball back. Yep, Porro can do that. But also, they can dribble on the backwards diagonal and shoot from the edge of the box. I'm sure Porro would like to do that, but he shouldn't, right? They can move into those spaces both on and off the ball and do number 10 type things, right? Chipping the ball over, half space to half space cross, or a straight up through ball, although we should see more of them than we do. Or neat knitted interplay back and forth, right? You just can't reasonably expect your wing backs to do that. So it is going to be a back four. It is going to be a 4-2-3-1, and it is going to require a different profile of fullbacks to the one we've got. But I don't think that means we've got to sell Porro, we've got to sell Udogie. I think that what that probably means is you've got to swap one of them out at a time. I can't let Pedersen play as the inside right back. Gertrude can, but then I can't let Trauner have the role of the extra midfielder like John Stones does for City. I look much more at the field's occupation, how he can fill that with our qualities. So let's say, for example, you take Udogie out and you put in Ben Davies, right? Now what happens is Kulusevski, he can move inside where he's comfortable. Porro can push up out wide, and you create a bit of a back three in build-up. That's fine. You can do the Arne Slot things from here. Okay, you're losing a little bit of the dynamism with Porro out wide. That does contradict what I said, but you've still got your left side attacker, who at the moment I've written a sum, but we'll come back to that. And you've still got Kulusevski's creativity in the pocket here. This is viable in my opinion, just about. And then the alternative is, okay, you brought Udogie back in for Davies, and you've Porro out for Royale. You create your back three, temporary, build up back three with Royale deep, and then Udogie, actually doesn't go out wide because that's not his game, and he's not a wide provider, and he doesn't really do any crosses at all. He's actually going to be a box threat, and he's going to look to do dribbles, carries, and heads in the box, and your left winger stays wide. So in either setup, in my opinion, whether you play Royale and Udogie or you play Davies and Porro, your left side player is going to stay out wide basically all game, whereas Kulusevski is going to move in and out more dynamically in this setup, right? So for that reason, I think that Son is actually better suited to playing as a forward in a 4-4-2, and we need to look to getting a left-sided creative player, because again, in the Brighton setup, in the similar but better, in my opinion, Brighton setup, you've got your front four, yeah, with your build up, your teasing build up, but then you use both forwards to come towards the ball. You do a double false 9, and this opens up space for the left winger and the right winger to make diagonal runs in behind, right into the forwards position. Nice stuff. But in Slot system, basically all 4 are hugging a defender, and it's the forwards that we've seen are the ones getting behind. So that suits Son more. He's a forward who gets in behind, and when you do combine in here, Kane can drop towards the play. So for me, we need a right-footed, outstanding, left-sided, right-footed creator type. So you arrive in the final third. Son's a box target. Assumes your support player. We need a new playmaker. Udoji's in the box too in this particular orientation of the fullbacks. Yeah, this is how you arrive in the final third. And then we look to try to improve upon things tactically with Slot. But I'm not saying that Son couldn't ever be an option out wide. I'd play him out wide before I'd play Richarlison out wide, because it's like, okay, if Son's trapped receiving the ball over on the left touchline, it's like, hey, can he dribble past his man? Absolutely. Can he put in a good cross from the outside left? Definitely. Can he dribble the ball backwards and take a shot from the edge of the box? Better than anyone, right? Better than anyone, he can do that. But he's not going to receive the ball arriving into the final third, arriving into the box. And that's what his standout attribute is for me. That's where you get 10, 15 goals a season out of him, and you just won't get that if he's playing on the left wing for Slot. Also, in my opinion, we should be selling one of Kane or Son this summer, but we don't have to get into that right now. It's more likely, it feels like more likely we have both going into next season. The other thing, the other big counter argument would be that Leicester might get relegated, and then what you have here is Maddison. And Maddison is an interesting character for Slot for me, because he simultaneously has the outstanding shooting ability that Slot wants from his number 10. Yeah, the secondary goal threat that's typical of the Dutch number 10. So the Dutch number 10, is typically a sort of a space investigator, right? A Raumdeuter, a Deli, get Deli back, a Thomas Muller, a Van der Beek. So Maddison can kind of do that stuff, although he's less good at moving into space and more good at just doing the shots, but also improve our creativity through the middle, or improve Slot's creativity through the middle through his own quality of playmaking. But for me, I still lean more towards...
We'll be playing 4-4-2.
And bringing in a creative left winger. So look, I've talked about my concerns. I think that at various points over the end of this season, Spurs have been linked to Julian Nagelsmann.